I never imagined that one sentence, just 11 words, would crack open my life the way it did. "You don't need to come for Christmas, we weren't expecting you." That was my son Daniel's voice on the phone, careful and polite, like he was talking to a distant relative instead of the woman who carried him for 9 months, worked double shifts to keep a roof over his head, and signed her name on a mortgage so he'd never have to worry about where his children slept. "I'm Lucy, I'm 64 years old, and this is the story of how I stopped paying a mortgage on a house I never lived in, and how that decision changed my family forever." The hook, the call that changed everything. It was the second week of December when Daniel called. I remember because I'd just pulled the box of old Christmas ornaments from the hall closet. The same box I'd had since Daniel was 5, the one with the chipped porcelain angel he made in kindergarten, and the red glass ball we glued his name onto with crooked gold letters. I had the phone tucked between my shoulder and ear while I unwrapped them one by one. "Hey, Mom," Daniel said. "Hi, sweetheart," I smiled, already picturing his kids running around the tree the way he used to. I was just about to ask, what day should I come down for Christmas? There was a pause, not a dropped call pause, a thinking pause. Then he said it. "Well, actually, we weren't expecting you this year." I laughed at first, because sometimes laughter is how you keep from crying when you don't yet understand what you're hearing. "Not expecting me," I said. "What do you mean?" "Well," he cleared his throat, "Emma's parents are coming and the house will be full, and with the kids and all it's just a lot." "A lot." I stared at the angel in my hand. One wing was chipped, the same way it had been for decades. "So I shouldn't come?" I asked quietly. "I think it's better if we do Christmas another time," he said. "We'll call you." He didn't. How it all started, the house. To understand why I did what I did next, you need to understand the house. Daniel was 32 when he and his wife Emma decided they were ready to buy a home. Housing prices were climbing, and they were worried they'd be priced out forever. "I just need help with the mortgage," Daniel said one evening over dinner, "just until I get a promotion, a year or 2 tops." I was a widow by then. My husband Robert had passed 5 years earlier. The house I lived in was modest, paid off, and quiet in a way that sometimes felt peaceful and sometimes felt like loneliness with furniture. I had savings, not a fortune but enough. "You're my son," I told him. "Of course I'll help." The mortgage went in my name. Daniel and Emma paid what they could and I covered the rest. At first they thanked me often. "Couldn't do this without you, Mom. You're a lifesaver. We'll make it up to you." Years passed. The thank yous faded. The payments stayed, becoming invisible. By the time their second child was born, I was paying almost the entire mortgage. Daniel's promotion never came, or maybe it did and the money just went elsewhere. New cars, family vacations I saw on Facebook, a remodeled kitchen with marble countertops. I told myself it was fine, I didn't need much, I just wanted to be included. But slowly I became optional. Birthday calls came late or not at all, invitations turned into afterthoughts, visits were rushed. I learned not to mention money, it made things awkward. So when Daniel said I wasn't expected for Christmas, something inside me finally went quiet. Not angry. Quiet. The decision. That night I sat at my kitchen table long after the sun went down. The Christmas ornaments were still spread out in front of me. I opened my checkbook. The next mortgage payment was due in 10 days. For the first time in 7 years, I didn't write the check. I didn't call Daniel, I didn't announce my decision, I just stopped. I told myself it was temporary, just until someone noticed, just until I mattered enough to be asked why. Christmas came and went. No call, no message, no Merry Christmas, Mom. I spent Christmas Day alone, eating soup and watching old movies, pretending the silence didn't hurt. January came. Then February. Then March. Still nothing. When the silence broke. In April, my phone rang at 6:12 a.m. "Mom," Daniel said, his voice tight with panic, "did you stop paying the mortgage?" I took a breath. "Yes," I said. "What do you mean, yes?" he snapped. "We got a notice from the bank, they're threatening foreclosure." I know, I said calmly. There was shouting on the other end, Emma's voice in the background. Words like irresponsible and selfish floated through the receiver. You can't just do that, Daniel yelled. This is our home. I waited until he ran out of breath. Daniel, I said softly, when was the last time you asked how I was doing? Silence. When was the last time you invited me to your house without me asking first? Maury, silence. When was the last time you remembered I exist without needing something? He didn't answer. The truth comes out. We met a week later at a coffee shop halfway between our homes. Daniel looked exhausted, older than his 39 years. I didn't realize you felt this way, he said, staring into his cup. That's the problem, I replied. You didn't realize I felt at all. He rubbed his face. We just got busy, life happened. Life always happens, I said, but love doesn't disappear unless you stop choosing it. Emma joined us later. She didn't apologize at first. She talked about stress, about the kids, about money. Then I asked her one question. If I weren't paying the mortgage, I said, how often would you want me in your lives? She looked at Daniel. Daniel didn't look back. That's when she started to cry. The consequences. I didn't restart the payments right away. They had to negotiate with the bank. They had to downsize. They had to face the reality they'd avoided for years. It was hard, it was uncomfortable, it was necessary. For the first time, Daniel called me without an agenda. He asked about my health, my days, my memories of his father. He started visiting, not often at first, then more. When they sold the house and moved into a smaller one, Daniel handed me an envelope. Inside was a check, not the full amount I'd paid over the years, but enough to show he understood. I'm sorry, Mom, he said. I forgot who made all of this possible. Christmas 1 year later. The following December, my phone rang. Mom, Daniel said, smiling this time. I could hear it in his voice. What day are you coming for Christmas? I looked at the angel on my tree, the chipped wing still imperfect, still standing. I'll be there, I said, but only if you really want me. We do, he said, all of us. And this time I believed him. The moral. Hear what I learned and what I want you to hear, especially if you're a parent or a child or both. Love without boundaries becomes invisible, help without respect becomes expectation, and family isn't proven by what you take, it's proven by what you remember. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself, and for others, is to stop paying the price for being overlooked. That was the moment my son finally saw me. And that's why I don't regret a single missed payment,